Creative Katie, welcome to my version of the Index Card a Day Challenge and my Create Daily series. I'm using a prompt from my Quote Journal Sentiment Pack, the Believe theme. The technique that I'll be using is using gel prints in two ways.
So this is my quote journal, but it's also what I've been doing my index card a day. Instead of doing it on index cards, I'm doing it on these 5x7 mini happy planner pages. Now, many of these I've gone and I've done put gel prints on them. You've gotten the gel press out and done all sorts of colorful backgrounds. And these I have in my stash. And as I've been creating, I've been trying to get some of the double pages. So we have one here. I want to finish these sides off. So the reason you have that is that makes for a quick, easy art journal. So I'm going to put on this background. Time, it's not going to take as much time. Now I did a couple of these because I did them on my 8x10, and I'm using this Script Dot stencil. And I love the effect with the purple or the pinks and the orange and yellow, and you get this lovely, lovely coral going on in there. Now on this one, I took my darkroom door script stamp, and it has "Do What Makes You Happy," "Dream," and it's got some lovely sayings in it. So I'm going to use this one. And as you can see, I'm ahead of the game. I'm not sure if I'm going to do some collaging with, this I have on my table. So I'm thinking, maybe a little bit more to bring out that white. And, it's another thing I've got hanging around and then I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to make some hearts here. Now I keep a bunch of heart templates. Once I cut them, and I'm just going to look at the size here. That is a little too big, but that one's good. That one's good. That's a good size. I'm going to play with the orientation here a little bit. And while that looks good with white, I'm thinking I'm going to do it with another gel print. People are always asking, well, I love gel printing, but what do you do with them? And so this is one of those things. So one of the things you can do with it. Actually, I like that heart better. It's a small page, so you cannot do too much, but so what I'm going to do is trace these out of this paper and cut them, and then I'll come back.
So everything is cut out, and now I'm grabbing a makeup sponge and black acrylic paint, and I'm edging these hearts. And the reason for that is I want these hearts to stand out from the rather busy background. Now, full disclosure here, I did start by edging with my Stabilo all pencil. I had that on my table, so I grabbed it and I started edging it. And you'll see what the problem with that is later. But let me tell you, here's what I realized as I was doing it. When you use the Stabilo all pencil, when you go to glue these hearts down with the gel medium, there is a very good chance that you are going to reactivate them and have smudge your page. So when I realized that, I switched to doing it with the acrylic paint, which when dry will be permanent and you will not smudge. Now, if you want to do with the Stabilo all pencil or any other water soluble, water activated medium, you still can. I would just glue them down first, glue the hearts down first, then do the stabilo once it's down. So I'm selecting a quote here, and this is from my latest quote journal sentiment pack entitled Believe. And this quote says, accept what is, let go of what was, have faith in what will be. And I'm edging that as well. So you can see like this whole thing, including my description of what's going to happen, took 15 minutes of creating time. And that's the benefit of having some backgrounds ready to go where you're adding the focal point and adding the image. So if you have stuff that's in your stash and then you have these ready-made backgrounds, you just have to focus on pulling all the pieces together and figuring out orientation. Because you've done in little creating thing. And there you can see where my stabilo, I thought I had gotten it off. It is reactivating and smudging and making a mess. I was able to save it by getting a baby wipe out of there and cleaning it up. But you don't want to go through all the work of creating your page and then have it smear in the last bits. So you just have to be aware of what products you're using, whether they're going to be water activated or permanent, and then adjust maybe the order of which you do things. Or alternatively, if I put the Stabilo on there, I just wouldn't put gel medium on the top. Maybe I would use a spray adhesive on the top if I want, or, spray varnish. So I wanted to build up the shading. So I come back in and I'm floating acrylic to shade around these hearts. I just wanted a little bit more shading than what I had. And again, this is me being extra picky, but it's the way I want it to look in the end. If you liked it the way it was, you go with that. And a lot of times it is this finishing, these little things that you add that one, take a considerable amount of time, but two, they really punch up the page. So if you're not happy with your page or you're thinking, oh, it's not done, pay attention to how people finish. Once the focal point's down, once the big items are done, the background, the focal points, what do they add to the page that you can do on your pages? So shading, outlining, edging, all those things, splattering, those will make your page go from okay to wow. I'm just edging around with the float acrylic. This background I've had in my quote journal from the very beginning, and I've loved it from the very beginning. But I've auditioned many, many, many focal points and prompts on this page, and it just never seemed right. And today it just worked. Right there. See that shading, how the big difference it made to making that quote stand out from the page. I'll put a link to the stamp and any of the other products that I use that I can find links for. This will take you to my Amazon store. If you buy anything once you go through my door, I will get a small commission, but it will not cost you more. But always, 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 please check out and make sure that you are getting the best price available. I try to link to items that are priced well and that do not have shipping attached, but sometimes those things change between when I select the link and when you click on the link. Here I'm using the fine line bottle, another amazing tool in my studio, just to edge it and give it a little bit more finished quality. Then I'm debating, do I want to go around the hearts? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to. I did think about putting it in white because there's so much white in the background. I thought maybe that would work, but I stuck with the black. Thank you so much for joining me. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. That lets YouTube know that you like these and they will start suggesting these videos to you and other creative people. Thanks for watching.